Well, hello, and welcome to this episode of How I Art. Today I'm going to be doing a digital inking of a Captain Hook pinup style fan art that I had done earlier this week. I wanted to have this video released in times where I could publish it on, I think it was like October 13th. Was it Saturday? Was Saturday the 13th? I don't know for sure. But, generally whenever I start inking, I like to start with the eyes and the face. I don't know if that's because most of the characteristics are like, your expression or characteristics are in the eyes, but I always generally tend to start with the eyes for some reason. I wanted to have like a really wide kind of expression with like really narrow pupils. I don't know if you've ever seen that, like in some animes, they'll show the villains as kind of having these really narrow pupils, and he's got. It's like, to me, I don't know if it's registering as a smile to y'all whenever you see his mouth, but the mustache kind of blocks his lips a little bit, where it's kind of hard to see that he's kind of got this kind of wild expression, and it's not, he's kind of smiling, but he's not necessarily, he's not like happy, which is a little strange. But that's really what I wanted to have happen. Yeah, so I, most of the time on men, I try not to completely draw in the upper lip or the bottom lip too much. It was weird to do a picture of a man with like a goatee or the mustache and the soul patch, but, looked at a lot of pictures of men and typed in like handsome men, and went through and looked at my Google search. So, I have some explaining to do, and someone's like, what the heck were you looking up, bro? I'm like, calm down. I'm trying to make art here. But it's definitely looks pretty good. I like it. I think it looks good. Nothing is more handsome than stubble. And there's no one that can argue that. And I'm sorry if you try to argue it, you're just being ridiculous and foolhardy, and you just need to give up now before you ever get started. So I'm going to keep going over that line on his eyelashes at the top. Probably going to see me do it a couple times. For whatever reason, I just can't seem to get it the right thickness. I'm going to go over here and add some darker lines around the mustache, just to kind of show... I guess in my mind, I'm imagining like the bottom lines would be darker than the top lines. But for whatever reason, I always tend to start with the head, and I work my way down. I don't... I've seen some people do inking stuff, and they'll like ink around all over the place and make like these big, almost like a circular pattern around the image. I am not that kind of animal. I am going to do like straight from the top to the bottom. Even though in this picture, for some reason, I put off doing his hair. I was like, I do not want to ink that hair. But I went straight to the collar, which gave me a lot of trouble, and I still don't necessarily 100% like it, but I feel like it turned out pretty well. All I'm really trying to do right here by erasing those lines, as you see, which is kind of cheating, but it is digital, so whatever. I'm trying to emphasize the thickness of the cloth. So I'm not trying to give it like this paper thin crease. I'm actually trying to make it like a nice round edge. Try to really get the stitching and everything else really kind of demonstrated well in the picture. At one time I wouldn't have tried to do seams or anything like that, but I've definitely tried to explore that more in my current pictures. Like you see on the cuffs of the collar, I'm trying to really emphasize the thickness of the fabric. And whenever I'm going to do the shoulder here, which I think what I'm about to do. Okay, I'm going to do the collarbone, and I'm going to start working out those larger muscles in the neck, or the tendons in the neck. And I'm watching myself work. Now I'm going to the upper part of the chest. But I had said for the month of October, considering that it's Inktober, even though this is a digital format, I don't care. I don't really want to mess with like real ink. I have little children at my house, and they will destroy everything I own, so I will not do that. I'm going to continue. I personally like doing stuff on the computer, and because I can erase, and I guess that defeats the whole purpose of Inktober, but whatever. here's me doing all the little 1,000 lines for the beard. Yeah, it didn't take that long, but for some reason I didn't think it was going to turn out that well. But they looked really good, so I was happy with it. I think it wouldn't have looked as good if I hadn't had done the stubble. But like right here when I do the coat around the shoulder, I make the big wide turn, like intentionally, to try to create some kind of thickness to the, like I'm really just trying to emphasize the thickness of the fabric, if that makes sense. And I had to work on the posing for like what do you be doing with the hook. And that sounds silly, but like that actually, I put some thought into it. There was a very long period of time where I sat staring at my computer with like a dead, like zombie like glare, trying to figure out like what the heck am I gonna have this dude doing with the hook in his hand. I feel like the pose actually turned out pretty well. I did go stand in my bedroom and take a picture of myself as a reference, like for the pose, believe it or not, just see like how you would hold your arms. And the big thing that actually helped was the negative space. When I took the picture of myself standing in my bedroom, the negative space was outlined really well, and it was easy to check my proportions and to check the posing by simply looking at the negative space in the picture. You see here I'm doing more like seams, like in the jacket again, trying to show the fabric and the thickness of it here. I have no clue on what the heck I'm actually showing you with that hook or how it's attached to his hand. I'm actually imagining like some kind of velvety material, if that makes sense. And it's like a velvety material that's kind of like got the hook, like it's a circular metallic plate that, I don't know. That's what I have imagined in my head. I don't know if it actually came across that way, but I forgive myself already if it didn't turn out just 100% perfect. But unfortunately, my video that I was making got messed up, and I'd hit the record button, but it recorded my other monitor and not me drawing for an hour and a half or inking this picture for an hour and a half, and that's extremely frustrating. But I did not go back and like erase everything and redo it. I'm sorry, people at home, and if you're upset about that, I'm sorry again. But with the way my job's working right now and the timeline and my I did not want to go back and redo it. As you can actually see, if you're watching me draw out this hand, I had actually put rings on his finger, and for whatever reason, I did not draw those. I think they would have actually looked good, and I may have to go back and put the rings on his finger, but I just completely forgot. I was more worried about those long curves on the cutlass, and they may not seem like they're very long curves, but like those long curves, man, I cannot seem to ink them very well. But that's why we're doing these videos to begin with, is to try to get better at inking and get better at art all the way around. But that stupid sword, I looked at pictures, but I just could not get that hilt 100%. But that's okay. I think the general, the gist of the picture was expressed, or what I was trying to do. And if someone has an idea on how to do a better job, just let me know. Hey, I'm completely down for any kind of advice. So, I'm trying to emphasize the thickness of the metal there, kind of. Really, at one point I was I'm gonna leave it like this, but I liked how, like, you can see me when I turn the layers back on. I could really I'm like, okay, I really like the way that looked better. So I decided I was gonna go ahead and ink his hair black, which I should start doing in a second. No, I'm gonna work on the eyes. Yeah, I'm gonna try to thicken up his eyelashes a little bit better. Yeah, which it looked really good in the pencil drawing, because it was almost like these kind of black, like you could see how his eyes were sunk in, and it was like this black kind of shadow that was being cast from his brow. And this picture would probably look really good in a grayscale. Unfortunately, this video does not cover that, I'm going to ink his hair in, and that is going to be all this video shows. So yeah, while I'm inking his hair in right here, which the weird thing is, like, I'm not very good at inking hair. It's not really my strong point. What I'm actually trying to do is trying to ink in like large sections of it while leaving lots of white in his hair, while giving the idea that the hair is black. That's literally what my brain was saying. All I'm going to do is ink big black sections that are going to be showing the direction that the hair is going. That is it. If that makes any kind of sense. I may not even have captured it 100% right, but I was satisfied overall with the way it turned out. And I like this picture. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and you see how I'm like drawing those really hard black lines, and then the rest of it's like white, so you could still make out the large sections of the hair. That's all I was really worried about, was making sure that you could still see the way the hair swooped even amongst the black. But if you watch this video, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. If you would please like, subscribe, and if you have any kind of suggestions or questions or comments or anything at all, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I do plan on trying to do a couple more pinups, like Disney villains, for the month of October. If you have any ideas or suggestions, get in the comments. That's exactly what they're there for. But thank everyone for watching this video. If you made it to the end, thank you twice. And y'all have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video.